I'm muted. I've been talking. Let's start again. Rewind. Okay. Right. As I was saying, welcome to the What's Going On podcast. And the Norski TV. Welcome back. It's good to be in the house. So if you didn't catch what I just said, basically, a lot has been happening over the last couple of weeks with the manager go round. It's in full effect. Throttle. Listen, man, somebody's got their foot on the pedal and they're going full throttle. So listen, we've got so much to talk about today. And obviously there's a couple of games on today. There was a couple of games on yesterday. These were games like games in hand for some of the teams that didn't play during the time when the Queen had passed away. So those were catch-up games. Thank you very much. Thank you very much there, Craig, for that, mate. I'll tell you, mate. It always happens. It always happens, man. But thank you for spotting that for me. So listen, I'll tell you what. Enough of me. Please hit that like button, subscribe, and share if you're new. As I said, on the road to 300. I'm going to introduce my guest, and even Big D is spotting that I was on mute as well. so thanks a lot, guys. Listen, let me bring them in. Let's stop waffling and let's just bring them in. So let me first of all introduce Mr. Big D and Mr. Ez. Gentlemen.
Yes.
How are we on this bright, lovely sunshine evening?
Wow, you got sunshine up there. I got
we've got sunshine down these sides. I'm sure that let's go down far further Kent then. Was it like down there, mate? Sunshine nice down there?
Well, it's sunny down here, sun outside. It's well, put it like this way. It's 6:30 and I can still see my grass outside. So but in terms of the mood, in terms of the mood in the house, since Potter's been sacked, it's been sunny for the last 48 hours. You get me? It's been sunny. It's been much more sunny in the last 24 hours in my household.
I'd like to do something now. We spoke about this on our chat. You said that we should bring our special drink along with us, and like to say, I've got mine with me. This is for Ez. It's very important. Why I'm holding this bottle here. Ez, a special bottle. This has been sitting in our cupboard for a few years, and it's now time to take it out. On your behalf, or on behalf of the What's Going On podcast, Ez, I'd like to present this to you virtually.
No. Okay. Thank you very much, and I received that, Norms. I received that. I'll tell you what, chat, for everyone, for context. When Potter got sacked, it was like we just won the league. For me, I put a message in. Big up, dudes. I put a message in the chat saying I'll get these guys their favorite, beverage of any choice. If it's apple juice, let it be apple juice. And I still need to work my way around to give them the, so Norms,
Prosecco.
Yeah, Norms, just put it on the list, mate. Just what I mean, Amazon it to your house.
I want 12 bottles,
That's the one.
Or is it 7 bottles for the amount of goals you scored this season?
Hey, listen. My season starts today. What do you mean? It starts now, man. Yeah, I don't know about you, man.
On the 10 game season. You know the ones.
Bro.
Hey, put it this way. Look, what's the chances? What's the chances that a manager that's never chosen as 11 got exactly the same result that Potter got against Liverpool? Potter drew to Liverpool earlier this season. A man that's never chosen a first team 11 goes and gets the same result. Interesting.
Interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Very interesting. Well, we will kind of briefly talk about that game in a bit. Obviously, you got games from last week as well to talk about. So, the customary thing to do before we go into any game is to just find out how everybody's doing. Just basically weekend was, so we'll start off with Big D.
Yeah, doing okay.
How was one's week?
Yeah, doing okay. Obviously, we were down on Monday. We were down on Monday. I needed to up and down. I am up to come and support you guys, and Beautiful send off and got to meet Ez in the flesh.
Yeah.
Man's like Asian. I mean, even though it was brief, it was very brief. But yeah,
It was.
and not the circumstances we would have wanted it to be. But
True.
But saying all that, you guys really did your pops proud, man. Your great grandfather and what have you, man. It was beautiful. So I was glad to be a part of that and share the day. I'm glad I wasn't working Monday night because that was never going to work. I was so busted when I got back up.
I can imagine.
I was like,
I can imagine. Yeah. What time did you get back?
10:30. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Did you drive a machine?
No, just because I wasn't working till the night, and she had meetings in the morning. She was gonna drive.
Okay.
I said, "Nah, man, you got meetings in the morning. I'm gonna sleep until I wake up." You know that was. So I just sparked. I went to bed about 1 in the morning. By the time I wound down, I had to clap some food. I got home hungry, man. You know that one's the concentration on the motorway. So I had some. My sister-in-law hooked me up with some harder bread from one bakery in Mitcham, and man, I had some wings, and I was nice, bit of coleslaw, and I was a nice boy. So that helped me to the morning.
I mean, a massive thanks as well, D, for coming down and supporting us. As I say, as you might know, that people don't know, we were my dad's send-off service, we did it on Monday. Fantastic celebration of life, and so many people, just unbelievable.
Roadblock.
Roadblock. And just big up to everybody that come and supported Junior in the chat as well. He was down there.
Junior,
did the guard of honor for Dad. He lived with us for a while, so massive respect to you, Junior, for that. Man, really keeps up. Yeah. Oh, is my stream buffering? Is it buffering? No, I don't know what's going on, man. It's just this internet, man. Apologies for that. There's not a lot I can do. I'm just hoping and praying that it will keep. Just let me know if it's still buffering or what. But it's really not much I can do about it. But so big up to you, Junior, as well. And definitely, I know Dad would have been proud of us yesterday. For his send off. Ez, what you saying, man?
Listen, man. Following in D's version of events this week. We was there, as you know, Monday. I don't know if you can really grade, send-offs, but I think this was one of the most profound send-offs I've ever been to. Enough respect to your pops, Norms, and that was significant on Monday. Glad we could support you and the family, and obviously my wife's granddad as well. So all good. What a day, full of different emotions, lots of tears, but there was actually lots of laughter, and them ones there. So, So man, that really almost set up the week in a way, and here we are. So man, I'm all good over here.
Yeah, cool. And as for myself, it's been a draining couple of weeks, months, and just glad that we've come through it together as a family, and all the friends. Just wanted to say big up to all the people that attended my dad's funeral. It was just fantastic, the whole day from start to finish, and ended it off with the reception down at Dulwich College, where the food was absolutely fantastic. Host compare was brilliant. So big up to those people. A couple of my work colleagues were down there. Ian, who's normally in the chat, was down there. Tony Dixon, Alfred, Alvin. Just big up to all those people that.
That's nice, bro. That's nice. Yeah.
So big respect to that. So just taking the rest of this week off. Thankfully, it's the Easter week. And so just taking the rest of this week off and getting refreshed for work next week, Tuesday. But listen, it's all good. But listen, let's get down to some business. I hope that, as my wife just said, big up to you, Jay, BT.
Yes, Jay.
I don't know what's going on with our internet at the moment. I mean, we're on the FTTC, which is, if anybody doesn't know that, that's fiber to the cabinet. So
Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
But I'm just looking at my thing. I can see that it's, even though I've gone through the power line adapter, it seems to be picking up wirelessly. So I don't know. It might be my wireless connection, even though I'm going through the hardwired connection. So it seems to be sort of jumping in the two. But apologies to everybody if we are buffering, but please stick with us. And let's just go about this show. So let's just talk about what's going to be on tonight's show. And obviously, it's the Prem review and player ratings. Ref watch, a couple of incidents over the last couple of days and weekend. The manager merry-go-round in full throttle. And the question here, does Klopp need to join them? Does Jurgen Klopp need to join them? 9 games to go. Who will crack first? And I'm probably just talking in general, but specifically, with Man City and Arsenal, sort of fighting it out for the league. And then obviously we go with the what's going on prediction league table game week 28. So we're revealing the table, and it has changed a little bit. There's 3 of us on 14 points. Yeah, 3 of us on 14 points, and D's still out there on 24, and Chile not too far behind him on 20 points. But I will reveal that table a bit later on. So, but I think just before we let's just probably maybe just tackle the current games that were played yesterday. But just looking at your game yesterday, Ez, with Liverpool, 2 mid-table teams fighting it out.
Have we lost your nose?
He just froze there.
I think you might sort that wired out.
You're saying it's hardwired? Because this is what I tend to do, right? If I'm streaming Wi-Fi, I take all my other gadgets off the Wi-Fi. That makes sense. Yeah, Otherwise, if you're not plugged, because I'm up in the office, Norm.
Right.
All right. I think you're back now.
You're back, Norm. You're back. Yeah.
We're gonna. Yeah, we're just locked away back. Yeah. I don't know what's going on. It must be my side of it. Let me try and see if I can tether off. Let me just do whilst that's happening, guys. Indeed, Ez, if you just want to talk about your game, I'm just going to try and sort out my side of the internet. Yeah. Excuse me for 2 seconds. Yeah.
That's all right. Yeah.
No problem. I mean, would we have covered Aston Villa? That was last week, isn't it? So we're talking. No. Villa was Saturday. Yeah. So we're talking about Villa first, really.
Yes, yeah. I'm just going back into my app. So
okay, cool. I think it's Villa because last week we would have covered the game before. Yeah. So Villa. I won't go too much into it, but Villa. Put it this way, everyone, if you're still with us, is that when Potter took over Chelsea, Villa was in relegation zone. I think they were 18th or so. Now Villa's above Chelsea. Now, if Potter couldn't get that team to beat Villa, he deserves what was coming next. In short, he deserves what was coming next. I think everyone knows my stance on Potter anyway. I wish him all the best. I'm sure he will learn from this, and he might go somewhere else and be an absolute monster. Apparently, he was traveling in from Brighton still every day into Cobham.
Was he? That's hard work, isn't it? That's hard work in itself.
He had the wife at home. He's leaving the wife at 5:30, 6 a.m. every day to get to the training ground. Doing that every day weren't going to work long term. He needed to get the family, even if he had to go rent somewhere.
Yeah.
If he weren't sure long term, he's got enough money. Come on now.
Exactly.
Go and rent somewhere. That's what you got to do, I think.
but you know what? This is like Mourinho at Old Trafford living in a hotel. It's like, what are you doing, bro? And then taking a helicopter back to London or foolishness like that. I'm like, nah, bro. Because you see, it's like anything. If you've got a family unit and you're just away, and your family unit is just by telephone, then you start becoming a bear with a sore head. And then into what I'm hearing in Chelsea, that they weren't really taking him seriously either. So if you got
it's true.
top players not taking you seriously, then you're having a long commute to go home and argue about what time you call this, and you know what I mean. It's a bad combination, isn't it? It all it all gathers momentum, and
my door locked 9 o'clock.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. If you're in the Caribbean, you know, like in the Caribbean, where you don't, where they say has to be an emergency to call somebody after 9:30 or whatever, and it's like the same thing. Like what you've been out all day from 5 a.m. and 9:30 you're just coming home.
And after a while, the novelty wears off, innit? Like I know he's working at big Chelsea now and he's getting big money, and that's all good at first. Yeah, go you, proud of you, husband. Or you know what I mean? But after a while, you know, actually, you got things to do at yard.
And then he wasn't winning. He wasn't competing. How he's
on top of that.
On top of that, a whole snowball that gathered for him, really, isn't it?
Yeah, man. I can see the domino. I can see the domino. You know, people calling him Harry Potter and all sorts, and Hogwarts. All kind of names that come with that. And he's not the type of guy. I can't see him stamping any authority on with that stuff.
No. And then you imagine his kid probably getting teased at school as well. You know them ones. You know it all. And like daddy,
merry-go-round.
Daddy, they're clowning you in the playground.
You
know what? You've gone to a big team and you ain't cutting the mustard. So
this is
I don't know, man.
I see it in his eyes. He looked like a very, very touched human. And when we're in that 2-0 loss to Aston Villa, I could see in his eyes that I think he knew what was coming next. I think I genuinely think he goes away and sits down for at least 6 months. At least 6 months.
Yeah, there's no real rushes there. There's no real rush for him to take a bad job. Sorry?
Got £13 million payout.
Yeah, so you understand how that went, right? He could have got the full maximum, which they pay in installments, or he can just say, "Screw your skin, take the 13 million and walk, and we're good," which allows him to rest himself and also look at another job. But if he takes the installments, the moment he gets another job, them installments stop.
Yeah.
So you might as well just say, just take my 13 mil now.
Take money.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you're going to get taxes.
I'm hearing there's a new model that clubs are now trying to do now. I don't know if you hear about this, but you see what the Bayern Munich's doing with Nagelsmann.
Right.
Now, what they've done is they've removed him as head coach, but they've kept him on the staff.
Oh.
But he doesn't have to do any work. But technically, that doesn't mean that he's been fired. So they don't need to pay him out nothing. They just need to keep him on the wage books.
Until he gets another job.
As long as his contract is right. So what that means then, if another club wants Nagelsmann, they still need to pay the compensation for him.
Right.
Because he's still on their books.
Plus, don't forget, you guys pay 21 million compensation to Brighton as well. So that was in the equation. Okay, well, 21 million to get you. All right. It's 13 rather than 60 over 3 years.
If we had paid that 60, we would look absolutely. We still look crazy, but it's still better than the 5-year deal amount. You know what I mean?
But the 60 would have been paid in installments until he gets another job. So if he decides to take 3 years out of football, he'd still get paid for Chelsea and get his full 60 million. But I think at that age, he's a young guy. He's going to want to go back. No,
30 million. You take that. You take you take that for not doing your job. I mean,
I mean, if the tax man gets cheeky, he walks away with what, 8 mil?
That's all right. That's all right. And he'll be employed soon. He turned down the Leicester job.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him.
Leicester got their money. There's no point in that.
Yeah. Well, also now he's now that he's managed a big team, I think he would want at least I don't know. I think I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at Spurs in the future.
Fulham, Brentford. I don't know. You know,
someone like that. But moving on to Liverpool quickly, then. Actually, I wasn't too upset with what I saw yesterday. I think Chelsea played better than Liverpool played. I know there's a new manager bounce, but I can't even call this guy a manager. This guy ain't managed any team. He's just a coach.
Ever.
Do you know what I mean? So actually, to get a draw is actually okay, but the game was there to be won. We had the ball in the net twice, two offside or 2 disallowed goals, and we've had clear-cut chances. It's Chelsea's problem finishing, which probably gave Potter less of a chance when he's got non-fiery strikers. So actually, I haven't got super much to say. I'm not actually upset with that result yesterday. I didn't expect to win because I saw the Liverpool that played you guys, D, and if that Liverpool turn up, then Chelsea in trouble yesterday. That Liverpool didn't turn up yesterday, and we actually put out a decent side that, with or without a great manager, done a decent job.
Yeah.
So I think later on the conversation will turn into who jumps on next. Right.
Yeah.
Quick question. Now Norms has dropped off. Does that mean we've dropped off?
No. We're here.
We're still going.
Yeah. Because my system can still see what Norm's system can see.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I'm just saying, Arsenal forever. We're just addressing that Potter's not going to get the 16. He's taken a light 13, and a light 13. I'll take a light 13 million as well and bounce and get all his money right now. And I don't know if you heard, Ez, we were just breaking it down with Ez how they do it because of the way clubs are being stung. They go through the installment thing until you get another job. He's decided I don't want to go through the installments for the 60 mil. Plus there was a 21 million buyout clause from Brighton to go with that. So he's just taking 13 million on what he can take as long as he needs now to get another job. There's no risk for him. He's got his money it'd be electronically transferred to his bank and he won't go for the 16. So as much as we were running joke about 16 million for 6 months work, it's actually going to be 13. And I say a light 13 million. And this how football is crazy because 13 million man. Is a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
If someone said to me and you, as it's 13 million to split, but between me, you and Norman, we're good. We're good right now. I'm telling
you, we're in the wrong profession, man. We're in the wrong profession. You mean to tell me I can get 13 million for being sacked?
Right, because someone said to me at work, the way you talk about football, D, you need to go and do your coaching badges, mate, because that's like money these man are getting.
It's true. It's true, D. You
have to reconsider. I said, man. It's different.
Hold on. Newsflash. Hear this, Fabrizio. Chelsea are in concrete talks with Frank Lampard to become caretaker manager to the end of the season.
Oh, you're not pulling an Ollie. Don't pull an Ollie.
What's going on here?
Don't pull an Ollie, Ez. You don't want that.
To the end of the season, and discussions with Nagelsmann and Enrique continue for the future project. What's going on here?
And this is what will happen. It'll probably go 8 games unbeaten, and everyone will be like, Frankie back at the wheel, and before you know it, he's a full-time manager. Don't fall for it, mate. We did this with Ollie.
Wait. Is that Norman running jokes, even though he's not fully here? He's got Lampard up there.
Is he?
Look at him. Look at him.
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't have the yellow ticker. So, Ez said breaking news.
It's all right.
What's going? No, Ez. Now let's address this now for real, because I thought when we were talking about this on our chat earlier on this week, and you put it in the chat that Frank, I thought you was pulling my leg. I seriously, I saw it in on one of the I can't remember which publication it was, and now you're saying breaking news. I mean,
it's literally just come
ridiculous.
In a few minutes ago, Fabrizio don't miss with these things. He said Lampard 100% prepared to accept. Final green light is up to the board, which means I think they're leaning on this. They're going to go for it.
Is that a right move, though? Is that a right move?
The only way it's a right move, guys, is if this Bruno guy, they feel like this Bruno guy hasn't got it. Because don't forget, Bruno came with Potter from Brighton, so he's a Graham Potter loyalist. Really, they're the same. I saw this guy bring on Gallagher yesterday, just like Potter brings on Gallagher every 60th minute. I saw him do exactly the same thing. Yeah. So I think they feel like he's the same mold as Potter. Lampard might come in and do a slightly better job than someone that's not managed. I think that's the only thing they see. Now, it's a weird move because I think Lampard should be managing his own club now. You know what I mean? Not no caretaker team. Yeah. But I'm guessing Enrique or Nagelsmann don't want to take over straight away. I think they want pre-season straight away. They want it from that point. I'm guessing that's the problem. That has to be the hold-up. Otherwise, they'll get them in ASAP. Now,
yeah, and it makes sense that they don't jump on it straight away, Ed, because it's too toxic right now.
It's too toxic.
If you look, obviously you guys are 11th with a -1 goal difference. Yep. So to qualify for Europe could be slim to none, just because the goal difference is poor, a bit like ours really. At least we're not minus, but the poor goal differences will probably cost you Europe. So for me, it's just not getting relegated, getting to the summer, and just having a complete reset for Chelsea. And you do that with a new manager. You ship out about 9 players that need to get the heck out of there, as we spoke about the other week, and then the new guy moves forward from there.
The thing is as well, Lampard at Everton was horrific, but Lampard at Chelsea wasn't. I think people forget Lampard got top 4 without all these star players that everyone talks about. All these big. It's only when he got in the big egos that's when he started to fail. When he was running Mason Mount and Reece James, Chalobah, Tammy Abraham, Hudson-Odoi, this man got top 4. So and that's off the back of the season that we had a transfer ban and sold Eden Hazard. So so actually, Lampard isn't all that bad when he's got some quality, but I don't think he's a long-term choice. Caretaker, cool.
Yeah.
I'm fine.
I think it's just because the way things are going with Chelsea. I just thought to go back to an old manager with all that's happened. You know what I mean? He ends up going to Everton and gets sacked there. Then to bring him back just going back to what you're saying is what do you might? I think you alluded to it already by saying that they probably don't have no faith in the current caretaker manager, and for that reason they've decided that maybe Frank is the one. I mean, do you think if Frank comes in for the last how many games have you got? Is it about 10 games left? 9 games?
About 8 games.
8 games.
Yeah, they play 29 now.
What kind of bounce do you think that they will get with Frank Lampard coming back? What is it that Todd wants?
This is the difference. Lampard understands Chelsea. And if that's the one thing that some of these players, you put in all these players, 16 players Chelsea signed, not a lot of them understand what it means to play for this badge. If you're going to bring in someone, Lampard will bring at least that spirit of what it means to play for this club. Because he's done it. And these some of these men that are coming in, they have to listen when he speaks. Regardless of his managerial record, regardless, as a player, they have to respect him and respect him for this club. Okay. Now, some people are looking at disappointment as Lampard as the future. No. Lampard is caretaking the club whilst we are without a manager. Surely that's better than giving it to Bruno, whoever this assistant manager was yesterday. Now, if Enrique and Nagelsmann, who are going to take over from July, are saying they want to start fresh, then Lampard's a good choice rather than just leaving it to rot until then for things to get potentially worse. I think Lampard could handle some of these, man. Don't forget, a lot of them are young men as well. So whether they've got ego or not, they will listen to him. They will listen to him. Yeah. So that's, I think that's slightly the difference. People like Mason Mount who will play for Lampard. Don't forget, Lampard brought Reece James. No one knew who Reece James was before Lampard brought him in and gave him a chance.
Now you've got a very good point there.
No one knew who Mason Mount was before Lampard gave him a chance on running this team. So some of these men, he'll be able to go and talk to them and be like, all right, come back to it, lads. And actually just put some. He's not going to fix everything, but it's better than what we've got. So as a short term, when I put that logic on it, it's okay. I'm all right with it. Only with the intention that you're going to land one of these big dogs, whether it's Enrique or Nagelsmann, at the start of the season.
Well, this is what I was saying earlier about the danger. Yes, Kofi, big up yourself, bro.
Big up Kofi, man. What you say, brother?
Yes, guys. What's up?
Yeah. Oh, man. Good.
But that's the danger, Norm, is that if Frank does well, do they get tempted? Remember, this is Todd, and because they've already fired Todd may be a cheaper option. Frank may be a cheaper
Lampard.
option again. Yeah, maybe a cheaper option than and then Renke or Nigelsmann. So I think that's where they got to be careful that.
This is my stance, though.
Yeah.
My stance is I'm only happy with this if it is solely a caretaker role, regardless of how he can go and win all 8 games. He can go on and win the Champions League for all I care. Yeah.
Well, that's a thing. Can you imagine that? Yeah.
Listen, if he wins the Champions League, make him assistant manager then. Let him stand next to Enrique and learn something. He needs to learn something or two.
Yeah, it's true.
He still needs to learn some things or two.
Yeah, because you guys.
Put him on the coaching staff. Even bring John Terry in there if you need to. You know what I mean? John Terry's there coaching the under-23s. Bring him up. He was Aston Villa.
I mean, I heard some fans calling for him. You know, I mean, after the mess with Potter, some people saying just bringing for these last 10, 11 games at the time, bringing Terry because he knows the heart of Chelsea. And he'll probably get these guys playing for the badge. I think Potter. I think
that would make sense, Norman. That would make absolute sense. Yeah. Especially if he's already trained in the under-21s. He's actually in the mix at Cobham. He's already there. He's already on the complex.
Exactly. He's doing well with the youngsters as well. He's only lost once this season with the under-21s or something.
Right.
But I mean, I think I'm not saying he's the man, but bring JT Lamps forward to the end of the season.
Take care vibes, and he's not, and he won't be in his feelings because he knows that he's the under-21 coach.
Exactly.
And he's just helping out the club that he loves. It's all good.
Once upon a time, Aston Villa's number 2. Surely, surely in this dire scenario, you could bring man up. There's nothing to lose here. I don't expect to go and beat Real Madrid. If you do, then it's a bonus. But they need to tie down someone permanently now. Let me make that clear. Regardless of Lampard's appointment, sign Luis Enrique or Nagelsmann this week. Get them penned down to start 1st of June or whatever it is, as well as Lampard. And then if Lampard does really well, you tell Lampard, listen, mate, you fancy a little cameo as someone senior on the advisory. You know what I mean? That'll be better than you being jobless again because at the moment Lampard ain't going nowhere because you didn't do very well.
Right. Yeah.
So he can learn a thing or two and do an Arteta. Learn some things for 2 seasons, a season and a half or something, and then go and pick up a Fulham or something, or what you know what I mean, and go again. So, but
it's just fired up on my thing now. Chelsea are in advanced talks with Frank. This is on Sky Sports now, official.
There you go.
They're in advanced talks with him, and it'd be interesting to hear what the other fans, a wider field. We heard what your views are now. Ez on it, you quite fancy him because obviously he knows the club and that, and not last season, the season before he got them to, or was it the season before he got them to top 4?
Yeah. Well, he was unbeaten in that Champions League when he got sacked. That's the same season we went on to win the Champions League.
Yeah,
right.
So, so I don't know. I'm not saying he's the man, but he's the man for 8 games left to go. I think so. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, I think he's definitely going to bring that hunger. Into the guys,
Yeah. I mean, if he does come in, how far do you think he will get these guys back up the table? Because you're currently, as I said, you're currently sitting 11th with, I think, a minus. Was it -1, -2 goal difference?
-1 no.
With 8 games to go, he Lampard will get 5 games won. 5 games won. He won't win against Arsenal. But I think everyone else he has a chance of beating.
Yeah. So where do you think? Okay, where's after these 8 games? Where do you think finally? Where do you think their position will? Okay, I suppose the question I would ask you: would you, with what 24 points to gain? Yeah, on top of the 30 what points you got? How many points have you got currently?
39 points.
39.
Yeah, 39 points.
So you win 5 of those games. That's 15 points.
Not even on a point level. Not even on a point level. I think Chelsea end 9th.
Okay.
I think that's the best we do. That's the best we do.
Yeah.
Because even then we're relying on other teams around us to do badly, and I can't really see anyone specifically tailing off. So we have to just go and win the games we've got ahead of us.
Yeah.
Which I see you lot being the hardest of those games. Your Arsenal's the hardest. So,
bro, I think we're going for 8th. The way we're playing. Yeah.
I mean, let's talk about your game. I mean, Cole, yesterday, you know, as I was saying earlier on before you came on the stream, a bit of a board draw. Liverpool, I really don't know what to make of Liverpool right now. You know,
Lee Gunner summed it up for us.
Right.
You know, he said, what did he just say on his Instagram? He said, I know Liverpool a little bit sensitive right now, but we're coming to Anfield to get through.
Wow.
You see, he was on it, but you see, my problem is that with the fact that you guys, Klopp rested a few of your players. I think Van Dijk was out. I think with an illness, so he didn't play. You had Trent on the bench. You had Robertson on the bench. You brought these guys off of the bench. They didn't really change the game in any sense of form or anything like that. But the fact that they've been rested and having to play this game smack bang in the middle of you know, going away to Man City, which we'll talk about that game, and now you got a game against us. I think, and the thing is, you know, Klopp has come out and said, like, you know, he thought, I mean, I don't know what your feelings are, Cove. He thought that he saw some improvements in your team last night. I don't know. I don't know
what he was looking at. Maybe he was staring into the clouds, but boy, Joey Gomez, I was like, man, why is this guy starting? Like, I would have been, you know what? He had one good shot.
He did
that. He had a good shot, but he was on tenterhooks. He was like, every pass he made, you could feel the tension. And, you know, he made even Alisson look nervous. Alisson, that was a situation where Alisson and
Henderson, they were at each other.
Go at each other. And Alisson was like, his mind must have been foggy because he was trying to get angry at one of the guys, and boy, he just lost the plot as well. Yeah. So I don't know, those guys, man. The team were ragged. Everything was messy. Everything was muddy. I don't know. It just looked like a second string that hadn't played together properly.
I think Jamie Carragher came out. It was and I think your ex Liverpool player last night. Sturridge. And Sturridge was saying, like, it's almost like Liverpool were trying to play like they did last season. A year on, they just haven't got it in him. Yeah. Some people are saying that it doesn't look like the team want to play for Klopp anymore. They haven't got the legs to do it. They still want to play that pressing game, but they haven't got the legs to do it. And especially against Man City. Man City was just literally, I mean, had them on toast. Literally just playing.
I would have been happy if Klopp had played. He can't play a defensive format, but at least something that would just bolster up. Maybe a 5 in midfield or something. And then, you know, we can kind of go from there. See if we can, maybe in the last 10 games, have some improvement. But he doesn't know how to change his ways.
So let's go back to Saturday and your early kickoff, your assessment of the game. Now, there was hope for the world. There was hope that Liverpool getting that first goal through Mohamed Salah, 1-0, you're thinking, right, come on now. You know, I was in the car with my missus on our way back home. And when that goal went in, I was like, come on, Liverpool, let's do this. You know what I mean? Blah, blah, blah. And I think I'd FaceTime you. And I think you was really apprehensive. You was really nervous because it was literally, there was too much space. You know what I mean? And I think every time. And the thing is, the goal that you guys got was kind of against the run of play. You hit them on the break. And pretty much they did the same thing to you when they equalized with Danny, with Alvarez. Against you guys.
Literally, I was just watching it zoned in, and then I was waiting for a defense splitting pass for City to just get in behind, and they did that immediately after we came back from the break, and boy, the rest was
history.
What it is,
it's quite frightening because you was playing a high line, but they were just getting behind you too easy. It was just much too easy, cutting through your defense, too much space. I mean, listen. When Liverpool play at home, they're a slightly more compact team. But even saying that, if they do leave any kind of space, good teams will exploit that. And they haven't got the players to do that. The defense is not what it is. Your midfield is not what it is now.
Yeah,
And,
but the thing is, we made Grealish look really good. Like I rated Grealish.
No, he
to a
was
certain
good.
degree.
He was good. No, but come on,
He was
Kofi.
No, listen, guys.
He was cooking, man. Come on, bro.
He
Kofi,
was
come on,
made
put
to
something.
look good.
No, man.
Grealish was made to look good. He was made to look good. Trust me, because like Trent was literally just looking at him like, okay, do what you got to do. I'm not really going to mark you, and he literally had space. So what else he's going to do? He'll do his Grealish things. But wait, you know, I don't know.
And it could have been
he
more.
seems to have settled down. You know, he seems to have settled down in that Man City team as well.
Yeah,
and I think
it took a bit of time, but I think he's now
because how Pep is, Norman.
Yeah,
I would have
because
been
how
happy.
Pep is.
I would have been happy to put Milner on Grealish and bully him and give him a tackle, because we don't seem to tackle anybody these days, and at least like make him feel it, so he doesn't try and do his stupid things.
I can see Kofi is not a happy bunny. Another question I suppose I want to pose to, and I think this was something that I had posted on, well, not posted, but it was one of the questions that I asked with the manager merry-go-round going on and everything's at full throttle, and Klopp coming out with his statement basically saying that if he has another season like this, he doesn't deserve to be in a job. They should sack him. I mean, do you trust him to go another season, Kofi? I mean, last week I called you Mr. Flip Flop. What are you this week, mate? Are you Kofi? You know what I mean? Actually, I didn't even get to look at your name. Did he come in as Kofi Klopp? Did he come in as Kofi Klopp?
I'm coming as Kofi Klopp. I'm in support. I'm in support, but he needs the money. He needs that midfield change. Like that 250 mil. 250 mil, probably 300 mil, just to balance up.
But what happened to the days where Liverpool used to find them cheap players that everyone goes, where'd you find him? Like, for example, Robbo. You bought Robbo for 4 million. You turned Trent from an academy player that's a centre mid into a right back. Them ones there where you found them players. You bought Mane for something stupid like 30 million, and Luis Diaz is a cheap buy as well. Like, I think Liverpool need to keep to that model, spend big on one player maybe, like you did with Van Dijk. So you need maybe one big buy in midfield, but the rest of them, go back to them days where you had good scouting. That's what I respect in Liverpool's model. Don't turn into us, like
after the like say when you buy likes of Alisson, Van Dijk on big money as well, the rest of the footballing world are going to look at you and say, okay. And then you go in and win Champions League, and they'll look at you and say, "Come on, then. You got big hands, big heads." So
but that's why I respect Arsenal still, because they refuse to pay the money. They just refuse. You know what I mean? Even with Mudryk, the money was there, but they weren't gonna get into no fighting fist. We'll just go get Trossard then. You know what I mean? And
look what Trossard's doing right now. He's balling out for us.
That's what I'm saying. There's quality out there. For example, even with Odegaard, the 30 million. Look at him now. Do you know what I mean? So it's one of them ones. I as much as my club's spending money and I can show off, I don't necessarily agree with that's the way to go. I think I really respect the money.
You know what? You see, the thing is going back to your club and the money that you spent on these young players. I mean, you take Odegaard, you take Martinelli, the likes of Saka coming through the club's ranks and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
they talk about ceilings and stuff like that, because these guys, Saka didn't cost us nothing. Yeah.
No.
Martinelli, 7 million.
Pennies.
Saliba is a pit 20. We're talking 20-something million. Now you went out and got Mudryk for 90 odd million.
This is what I'm saying. Million. It's a risk.
Yeah,
it's a risk.
This guy, for you to get your money, you're not going to get your money back on him unless this guy does something crazy.
But that's not the plan. That's not the plan. That's not the plan.
Is that like you said this right? I was watching the show. I was watching I think we Syed, one of them guys shows. yesterday or the day before, and Rand said they were talking about the 80 million from Maguire. He said, you know what? He said, give Maguire back to Leicester and apologise. He said, don't even ask for a transfer fee. Just say, take it back and we're sorry. And that was it. That just took me out. I said, that because 85 million for what? For who?
Ooh.
Oh, he's a England international. He's a club captain.
Yeah, that one can't be forgiven. That one cannot be forgiven.
But that's what he said. He said, just hand him back and apologise to Leicester. Say, we're sorry. Here's Harry back. Forget the 85 million we built on him. And so our point in spending big don't always work. And we've seen
it don't always work. The thing is, when the players is particularly young, you've also got to balance that you're putting him in the right hands. Now, what I mean by that is Saka could have been a flop if you sent him to the wrong club, or if Arteta wasn't the manager then. Okay, because Saka wasn't necessarily the same. He hasn't been developed the same under Emery as he has Arteta. And I think under Potter, well, okay, we could talk about Mudryk, but what player? And I'll wait. What player looked better under Potter? And I'll wait for someone to tell me. What player? Experienced, young, old, which one? I don't know which one. And that's a telltale. Whereas I think if Mudryk had gone to Arsenal, Arteta would have said, sit on the bench for 4 or 5 games and I'll give you 20 minutes. I'll let you have a little run in the Europa League, and you're not, no way am I letting this big price tag make you feel like you're playing every game. You need to work out my system and where you fit within that system. And that's the difference with Potter. Potter ain't got a system. So it's just, here's a game. And at 60th minute, Conor Gallagher's coming on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the teams now, right?
Yeah.
That play in a system. Do you think Ten Hag has a system yet, or potentially? Because when Ten Hag first came into Man United, he talked about how he wanted to play football, and I was thinking, if he gets this right, man. But I think he hasn't right now got the players to do it.
Well, he definitely has.
I look at Chelsea. Sorry, I look at Chelsea. The same sort of thing. They've got the players, but they haven't got a system to think. Klopp, like this. You look at Klopp. When Klopp came in, he knew what type of football he wanted, and he needed the right players to come in to play that kind of football. And that happened over a 2-3 year period, and now you can see the fruits of his labor because of that. Arteta, same sort of process. He's talking about trust the process, and I wasn't getting it because my old thing was I was just looking at Arteta and thinking you're not big enough to manage a club of Arsenal size, and stature, and so I couldn't trust him but he didn't have the players to do it, and I take my hat off to the owners that gave him time to do that. Now I can see that Chelsea want to do the same thing now. They want to go down this road, but at the moment, and I think Ez said it in our chat that Potter was not the man to actually take this team forward. He was not the right person, and I think I was asking you, as like between Nagelsmann and Enrique, who would you go for? Now Enrique is more obviously, experience. 52. He's worked with. He's worked with the national team. He's worked with Barcelona. He's won titles and stuff like that. But I said in our chat, he was more of a rounded manager, could work with the young and the old. Nagelsmann would probably be more like the Arteta type, and obviously Enrique is more like the Pep type. So I suppose what I'm trying to say in general, and I think somebody said about systems, like if teams now. Football teams have a particular style, or what's the word I'm looking for? Style or character in terms of their football, and they get the right players to play in that. They don't necessarily have to be world-class players as long as they fit the system and play in that system and it works. It's working for Arsenal. It's not that we've got world-class players in there. No. For what we're doing is absolutely amazing to watch the football that we're playing. Man City got better players than us, but they play within a system. Klopp at the moment. Your team, unfortunately, Kofi, is on a bit of a decline, and obviously we're waiting for the right manager for Chelsea to come in to get that system. And Potter, I think, just didn't know. But then going back to what D with Ten Hag, is it because he hasn't got the players right now to do what he needs to do going forward?
Yeah, a lot of it is trust, because there's plenty of times where he's come out, you know, when we've been poor, and he said they're not doing what they've been told, or they're not doing what we worked on in the training pitch. Now, it works two ways, because some of it has to be on him, as in, like, I've just seen a lineup now, right? He started every player that didn't turn up for Newcastle, and apart from Weghorst, he dropped.
So he's dropped him.
He's dropped Weghorst for Jadon Sancho. Now, if I'm Martial, Wan-Bissaka, Malacia, Pellistri, Fred, I'm fuming.
Yeah, Vex.
I'm fuming, bro, because these lot stunk up the joint, and I'm still holding bench. That don't make any sense, no. Ten Hag got to take. If we get turned over by Brentford tonight, he got to hold his hand up on the starting lineup, because you can't have a performance like that and only drop one player. He shoehorns Bruno in every which way. If Bruno doesn't get an assist or score, he's not offering much, you know. He's not, and this is not player bashing. This is fact. He can be awful. Rashford wins him a penalty. He scores that penalty and makes the headlines when he's been garbage all game. And I've been watching this for. I mean, I saw the Newcastle loss come in because I said we've been getting away with some poor performances. Yes, we have. I mean, I'm not being funny. I think losing Casemiro and Eriksen in any man's midfield is a hit, right? To have both of them on the sideline is not the one for me. I mean, he's gone again with McSauce and Zabista in midfield. I'm like, Brentford are bullies.
You definitely called it. You definitely called it when you said against Newcastle that midfield will not.
Because he didn't start Fred, you know.
And he did, and I asked you that question why he didn't start him.
If you haven't got Casemiro, you haven't got Eriksen, you've got to put some legs in there with Fred. Because Fred will not stop running. He'll put in a few clumsy ones, but he's not going to give up. See, McSauce has chest in a Scotland shirt. Let's leave it at that. He has chest in a Scotland shirt. It's like he's a shrinking violet once he puts that red shirt on at Man United. Because he's standing behind you, Norman, when I'm trying to pass to him.
I know you said about hiding.
Brother.
Bro, it's a big stage at Old Trafford to play
and show yourself. And when I see this, he's playing Bruno at the 10, he's playing Rashford through the middle. I don't like Rashford through the middle.
Yeah. You want him coming off.
He's more effective coming off the left, Norm. And he's picked this team like he hasn't got personnel on the bench. And I just named you 5 players that should be starting. As in Martial, Wan-Bissaka, Pellistri, Fred, and Terrell. Yeah. Them 6 should be playing.
So do you think he's almost trying to tell the board that I don't know what's going on with this sale, but I'm putting this team out on purpose to say, look, whoever's coming in, whether you lot are staying, you're getting your stake, or someone's signing, I'm going to want my players. Do you think he's doing that?
Yeah, because you remember Jose did this. Yeah. Jose did this. He goes, okay, keep playing Harry. Harry getting schooled over the top. Another goal.
I sense a bit of, not arrogance. I think all the top managers have a bit of arrogance, but I sense a bit of Tark saying, look, this is my way. Ten Hag, sorry. This is my way. And at the end of the day, if you're not going to get behind me, then you're going to have to pay me out.
I think he's right to say that, because if he wants United to change, then United have to accept that they have to go his way and do it.
And this is the frustrating thing about the Glazers, right? They are they're not cash ready or however you want to say it. They got their money, right? So he tells them, I need reinforcement. We bring in 2 loan players, right? So you know what I'm saying? And not even. I mean, I never even heard of Sabista. I'm going to lie to you. I was like, Sabista, I had to Google the brother. Weghorst, I remember Weghorst from Burnley. I'm from Burnley. From Burnley. Before they got relegated last season. So I knew Weghorst, but I'm like, who's Sabista? So this man is being told to try and compete, go top 4, try and win a cup, But then when he goes cap in hand to get some money to buy, they said, nah, we can't buy, mate. Let's see what we can loan you. Let's see who's hanging about, not getting much game time for their current team. And that's what you're bringing to Man United. Come on, man. And this is why this whole, we're doing due diligence. There's no due diligence. This man got 9 billion to spend on Man United, and you don't want to send the club. He's still dragging your heels.
The reason though, Man United fans should be excited. I used to watch a bit of Ajax because I used to love Frankie de Jong. A bit of them. And when there was no football on or whatever, I used to watch Ajax. You see, Ten Hag, this ain't really even his football yet. And that's how I know he's doing something.
Exactly.
No, I mean,
I've not seen anything that replicates what Ajax played. No. I saw Ajax in the Champions League, mate. Yeah. And I said any team that gets this manager, right? Oh my God.
This is the thing.
Right.
This is the thing. And D, what I'm hearing is he still ain't even called up some of his mates to be on the staffing team. Which there's some big dogs at Ajax, which if he calls, they're coming. But I have a feeling that he's even holding that back until he's assured that even the whole Frankie de Jong thing, he put Frankie de Jong's name as number one. And Man United did the same thing. The same with Gakpo. They done the same old bartering.
Yeah. This is the thing, right? Everything cannot be a barter. Especially if you're saying that you're serious about catching Arsenal and Man City, the price is the price. The same price it was yesterday, it's the same price today, brother. You want this player to improve your team, to be back competing where you think you should be competing, pay the money. And the thing is, we constantly make money that we can pay money. It's not like we're not making money, but because of these owners not wanting to, I mean, you have to admit, they're taking $1 billion out of the club. $1 billion, you know. And you're chatting about, just go and get your brother on loan. Nah, you're not serious. You're not even serious about They're not serious about us finishing top four. And bear in mind, top four brings that Champions League money. And so, and that's why I said fifth at the end of the season. At the start of the season, I thought I'd take fifth in the cup because I know these owners know him. And so I guarantee you he's frustrated with that squad. But he said, I'm trying to work with that. And I think he's seen those that he knows he can work with and improve, and maybe bring in a different coaching staff as well, like Ez was just saying then.
Yeah, but I think he's dropped out at the moment, but he'll be back.
But
D, would you take another trophy in terms of FA Cup or Europa and not make top four?
Well, I'll take the Europa because I'm in Champions League then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? so through the back door, because remember, this how Jose got their norms. He went right now, it's
sticky. Top four is sticky right now because obviously with you losing. Because I know you said last week you would take a draw. You said you would take a draw.
Take a draw.
And to be honest, I watched that game, the Newcastle Man United, and Newcastle literally bullied Man United. They wanted it more. You could tell they wanted it more. You know, some people was trying to say that Bruno was a bit petulant and stuff like that. But I just said, Ten Hag can only work with what he's got. And when you lose the likes of Eriksen, and when you lose the likes of Casemiro, and you don't bring on Fred, who's got legs, because when you got Bruno Guimaraes running up and down, Longstaff and Willock, who played absolutely brilliant in that game.
We got bullied in midfield. And I'm thinking, bro, get Fred in there. And it's like a pride thing. That's the starting line of my picks. It don't matter, you know. Because I've played team sport in the basketball. If someone ain't performing, the sixth man comes in. No matter if you're a starting five, the sixth man comes in and holds it down until you figure out why you ain't playing well today. The coach don't just leave you in there to go 15, 20 points down in a basketball game. That's how when I'm playing pro ball and then you see two starters on the bench, you're like, start you today. He goes, nah, man. He said, I train well. And he started the bench players over them.
Do you think that at times, and I've seen this at times in the season, Ten Hag's decision-making at critical times could be improved a lot? Because there's times where he should have made the decision to take someone off or bring someone on, and he didn't do it.
And this is one of my biggest criticisms of him. And the Ajax fans warned us about that. They said he's very stubborn when it comes to making the subs. even when he made this, you must remember he made 3 subs, right, when it wasn't needed altogether, and we conceded in less than 2 minutes after making them 3 subs. And I just sit back and I'm like, as soon as they scored the first goal, I said we lost that game because we weren't in the game. We weren't in the game, and I'm thinking we're not in the game, and we're getting bullied in midfield, and then we haven't been clinical all season. Hence the 4 plus 4 goal difference. Plus 4, you know, a team like Man United plus 4. Come on, man, that don't make no sense. I mean, okay, we got 2 games in hand over Tottenham, right? And we're playing one tonight, but we're plus 4 goals in our goal difference. I mean, obviously the Liverpool spanking hurt. The 7-0 put a real dent in that. But even still, we can't be at this stage of the season with a plus 4 goal difference. We're not clinical. And everyone's saying that, people saying to me, we haven't had our number 9 all season, i.e. Martial. But we've known that Martial is the original sick note. So why did we put our trust in him? We knew that he's going to play 2-3 games and he's going to look at the boss and say, my hamstring. And then he's gone for 7-8 games.
Yeah.
And then obviously, you know, with the Casemiro, you know what? I look at the Casemiro thing, I say, well, one of them is a 50-50. The other one is very harsh. So that he's missed 9 games now. 9 games, you know. When you're trying to compete on, that's your best.
Some people, but Deep, some people will call it a liability, man. 9 games, you know, that's a lot of games, mate. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Long injury.
And no injuries really. I mean, Calvin is asking this question to you, D, and there was a couple of questions, but I'll go back to. I messed them out. I think one was from Scott, and I can't remember where the other one's from. It says, "But why can't Ten Hag work it the way to use strategy to fit the players he's got?" That's a question to you.
But the thing is, Calvin, I feel he's trying to, but what he's done tonight disappoints me. Unless he's got the mindset to say, you 10 and Sancho need to go out and fix your mess from Newcastle. Unless that's his mindset, you know. But if that's not his mindset, then every one of those 5 players I named on the bench need to be furious with their manager, because I think it's disrespectful that these guys are not getting a chance to start a game and say, actually, because he was doing that. He was benching Luke Shaw at the start of the season after them 2 games messed up with Brentford and Brighton when we lost the opening 2 games.
The early start of the season.
Yeah, he benched him. Now Malacia hasn't been poor for us this season. I thought when he played Luke Shaw at left centre back, Malacia held it down. Now we can't get a game again. I'm looking at Palestri. Whenever Palestri gets on the ball, this man is not stop and starting. He's going down that flank to skin a left or right back. Can't get a game. He's just getting little cameos. And I'm saying, bro, you need to look at that, because if these guys go and sync up the joint tonight, then he's got to hold his hands up, Norm. And he hasn't been doing that, unfortunately. And I know it's the arrogance of the managers, but at some point you got to say, I made some bad judgment calls in game decisions. Because for me, I don't think there's no harm in saying that, Norm. It shows that you're a realist when it comes to managing that. Yes, the players didn't do their part, but me as a manager also didn't react in the way I should have reacted. And maybe that wasn't the starting lineup. And there's no problem at halftime saying, I'm changing it at halftime. This is not working. Don't wait till 65 minutes.
No, absolutely.
And then you put on the 3 subs and then we concede in 2 minutes. That's a mess. That's like, wow, that didn't work.
Absolutely ridiculous. Another question here from Calvin earlier on. He said, do you think in general that Premier League clubs are under pressure to pay for ready-made players to ensure they stay in the Premier League?
Yes, they are. And that's hard, Norm. Because you got to develop. You have to develop as well.
I mean,
it's whether clubs are prepared to wait for that process for those players to come through, because they talk about, well, look at, if you go back to back in the 90s, when you had that young side and they said they would never ever win anything. And look at that team went through and probably won the most amount of Premier Leagues, you know what I mean? Giggs was included, that Beckham and all them players, you know what I mean? And so it's whether clubs, I think there's more pressure now for clubs to buy ready-made players, because it's about this, you know what I mean? People haven't got time to wait You know, I mean, Chelsea are now going down that road. Arsenal have now gone down that road. It looks like now Liverpool now would have to go back and do another rebuild. And it's whether fans are going to be patient enough. And I think it's the pressure from the fans more say than anything. Social media and all of that. Do you know what I mean? To get the team back to where it is. People were prepared, Kofi, under your team. People were prepared for Klopp to come in and implement his system. It took a couple of seasons.
But that's the thing. Like when he did come in, the whole club and the culture knew that he needed time to do this. It wasn't just going to be a straightaway thing. And even then, we didn't have all the resources, all the funds to actually transform the team all in one go. So it was like a couple of players in here and then, you know, go again maybe next summer or in the winter. And then just to bring them in, reel them in like bit by bit before we knew we could get to a point where we had that squad to then push
and
on.
I think with the help of selling Coutinho for that big amount of money to Barcelona, he was able to go and get Alisson, you know, and get Van Dijk. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Because you know there was an issue with your goalkeeping situation, and there was definitely an issue with your defense. And then you know you just brought the other key players around them, and then your team was pretty much set to go now and start competing. You know, on most fronts, you know what I mean.
But then you have to remember that still some of those players were still like Brendan's players.
So, you had to do a little bit of weeding out. Obviously, you know what I mean. And I suppose it's the same for all teams because last week we went through a list of how many players that we would keep and who we would sell. I think between the three of us. You know what I mean? I think you was on the stream last week, but I think something like at least 30 plus. 30 plus players.
I have 14 now.
14. So
I still got the list there. I got my list there. 14 players that need to be out of there.
And realistically,
it's mad.
And realistically, we're not going to get rid of. You're not going to get rid of 14 players. It's just going to you probably have to do it over a couple of transfer windows. And obviously you get the backing from hopefully from your Saudi owners.
Because the thing is, and this is why they were making jokes about giving Harry back to Leicester. Like, forget the transfer market, just give him back. Get him off the books, give him back. Right, now you got wages, now you free up whatever he's on, big money, get another centre back in. You know what I mean? There's so much pressure on, because you have to remember, Varane is not going to play every game. And at some point, you've got to give Martinez a break as well. So not only does he need a CDM, he needs two centre backs as well. Because like I said, Lindelof needs to go. I just think it's mad to watch. It's mad to watch.
But then you know what, D? In saying that, even with us, I think now we need to be looking to getting a Van Dijk replacement. Because the way Van Dijk's legs have been, you know, run through the ground, like
it's the injury as well, Kof.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a bad injury, man.
And he came in last season and played the whole season.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we kind of need to look for a younger Van Dijk as well, just to go alongside Konate, because Matip also he'll probably be like bench.
Yeah, bench backup. Yeah.
But your defense though, Kof. I mean, this season they're making far too many mistakes. Far too many schoolboy errors. It's unbelievable.
The thing is, like Trent, Klopp has to make that decision in the summer and push Trent in midfield, and then get a decent defending right back, not somebody who's going to push forward. Maybe link up. To a certain degree, but somebody who's going to do the defensive job properly, and then also probably I don't know about Simicast, to be honest. I think maybe he hasn't been given a fair crack. Like at times, it's just been utilized when just to manage games and things like that. But
when you bought him with. I thought that he would break into the side and stuff like. I mean, there was a time where he had a little bit of a run in the side, But Robertson is obviously keeping him out.
But Klopp has those loyalties too, like players that he's seen week in, week out. They do the job for him. He trusts them, and he doesn't want to break. That's how to say the loyalties and confidences within the team. So it's just what he's doing with Millie. He sees Millie start of every season, pre-season, and he's the fittest one in the training pitch. And
they must give him a contract. He's worthy of that. A question from correct Dulski. Boy, do you know what? This weekend, who starts? Martinelli, Jesus, Trossard. I mean, it's fantastic. I think a bad headache to have, a good headache to have, should I say?
I think Arteta will start Trossard.
You think so?
Yes, so do I. Yeah.
What, and drop who?
No, I think he'll bring up Martinelli to stretch the legs later on.
Yeah, so I think he'll go. Jesus, Trossard, and Saka across the front.
Right.
Yeah.
And bring on Martinelli to stretch.
Yeah.
Makes sense. But you see the thing about I think going into this game on Sunday, Super Sunday, Arsenal have to make sure that they go into this game and not because obviously we've got this mental thing when it comes to Anfield and as it is, Liverpool. Funny enough, Liverpool, as mad as it sounds, Liverpool have actually got the third best home record in the league. Would you believe it or not? Yeah. You check it out. You've got the third best home record in the league. Just like us, Kofi.
Away games. It's the away games.
Same as us. We've been awful on the road.
Yeah,
we've been awful on the road. Yeah.
So I think going into this game, the Anfield crowd, they're going to come at the first 20 minutes. If we can keep you quiet for the first 20 minutes, because you're going to run out of legs. You see that now. Your players can't keep going. They haven't got the energy levels to keep going. As I said, you've got an aging midfield, and your defense is in trouble right now. Do you know what I mean? So Arsenal, these are pivotal games coming up. Liverpool away, then we've got West Ham away, Southampton at home, and then a massive game against Man City. And so we need to go into this game. I think Gary Neville is coming to the admittance now that if we beat you on Sunday, then we pretty much got the title.
It's curtains, no. For me, it's curtains. If you beat Liverpool on the weekend, the City game ain't gonna matter. It's not. It won't be relevant. Because you'll have 5-point gap even if you lose to City, and I just don't think Arsenal self-destruct, and that hurts me to say that, man. I'm so competitive with Arsenal, man. So for me to tell you straight that I don't see Arsenal the way you've played this season, I don't see you just self-destructing when the promised land is just across the street.
I mean, we've only lost, I think, is it 3 games this season?
Exactly, mate. Yeah. And so,
do you know what I mean? So the confidence, a team that's playing with this kind of confidence, I can't see us capitulating. Do you know what I mean? I don't see us losing any more than, do you know what I mean? And I suppose if we lose those 2 games, obviously Man City have got that game in hand. I do expect, I do expect Man City to because they play before us on the Saturday. I think they play. And they're going to be away to Southampton. Right now, Southampton are gone. It's curtains for them. It's absolutely curtains for them. But they're playing for their lives. Listen, they're playing for their lives. You never know. This league. Let's not just think that you can go into this league and think, we'll just turn up. So Southampton could shock us. They could shock. Look at the situation with Nottingham Forest and Man City. I think that ended up being a draw.
You know what I mean? 1-1.
So, you know what I mean? And just talking about Nottingham Forest, obviously they lost yesterday because they played a game yesterday against Leeds. Yeah. Steve Cooper, how's that man staying in the job, people? This man is Stefan Cooper, mate. It's unbelievable.
And the thing is, Norm, if you look at it now, it actually doesn't make sense firing him now. You should have fired him at Christmas. I just feel like now, when I'm seeing managers getting fired now, I'm like, I don't see how it benefits because there's not many quality managers out there looking to come and take a team in a relegation zone. I mean, that's why, what's the name? They said that he turned down Leicester. Potter was like, no, I'm not going to Leicester. You're mad. They're second from bottom. Why would I do that to myself? For the fans to turn on me when I
but you know the madness about this thing. I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah.
But wouldn't you take a chance? Because if you think about it, this weekend, last weekend, the weekend before, that bottom three has changed. Do you know what I mean?
And the truth is, Norm, the Leicester job you probably would take just because of their goal difference is only minus 11, and you can actually stay up because your goal difference is the best of a bad bunch.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like so if any job was down there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take a Leicester job because even if we draw a few, that goal difference will save me from relegation. Where I mean, you got Bournemouth at minus 30 now. You got Nottingham Forest at minus 28, Southampton at minus 24. That's huge goal difference, man. Leicester's the only one you would really realistically push to shop. Say, listen, I need you to come and take the Leicester job. Be like, all right, let me see what I can do here. Let me see if I can park the bus, get some scrappy draws, and survive by goal difference, which is proper cheeky, but fair play.
I'll take that after Unai Emery, who yesterday went there and beat them 2-1. I think Leicester, took the lead first, if my memory serves me right. But then Aston Villa came back and won that game 2-1. And say that again.
Villa a 7th, mate.
Yeah, but when Unai Emery took them over, they were, if my memory serves me, I think they were either in the relegation zone or they were just teetering above it. Just above it. And look what he's done.
Yeah.
Look what he's done.
44 points, man.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Wow.
Do you know what I mean? Absolutely amazing.
And above
that's it.
And Brentford.
So 3 of 8 teams could still go down. Yeah, 3 of 8 teams could still go down.
That's right. Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's mad. Yeah, and if you look, if you look at, I think from, is it 12th downwards? What's the points from?
30. Yeah, so literally you got Chelsea on 39. They're 11th, and then there's a 9 gap between Chelsea and Crystal Palace in 12th.
Wow.
9-point gap.
Wow. Yeah.
So literally, like Chelsea are good; they ain't get relegated. But I think from Palace downwards, could all get drawn in there. You know.
Yeah. Well, you know that saying that though, I think Roy Hodgson will get these guys out. I mean, they got another win against. Listen, that's what I'm saying. I think Leicester right now are looking in big trouble right now because that's two games on the bounce. Let's just bring Eds back in.
Yeah.
That's 2 games on. That's 2 games on the bounce now. Yeah. And with that said, Roy Hodgson, beats them 2-1 in that game. His first win of this year. Can you believe it? The first win of this year. And people are going to look back and say, see, Patrick couldn't do this, man. And he's coming up. But the goal, I think it was Hayu set up the goal for, I think it was Jean Mateta, if I pronounce this right. That was like in... I think it was in the 94th minute.
Yeah, you don't concede.
You don't concede. You do not concede. You just don't concede.
Oh, Lord.
You just don't concede. But listen, it was crazy. The oldest man in the manager in the league gets the job done, and that puts them on. Is it 30 points now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that correct? 30 points.
I'm telling you now. Yeah, 30 points now. That's what I'm saying. There's literally a 9-point gap between Palace and Chelsea. Chelsea on 39, Palace on 30, on 12th, 11th and 12th.
Yeah. I mean, listen, they're still, they could still get sucked up and get sucked in there. But I just think maybe Roy has the know-how, and I think he will get them through. Do you know what I mean? He's got them playing much time.
Sorry, my internet dropped out before, but I would sneakily say Vieira to West Ham next season. Because Moisey ain't got it. He just hasn't got it.
Nah, he lost it, man.
I say Moisey. If Moisey keeps them up, they say thank you very much, Moisey. It's just a different season now, and I think he cooks. I think he cooks something with West Ham. I think he could. I think so.
Nottingham Forest 1, Wolverhampton 1. I just say, it's take your pick. Who's gonna? I think there has to be 2 or 3 teams through so that would have to go on a 2 or 3 game run to start to pull away. As I said, we're in the business end of the season now, and I suppose it's. And when I say which team will crack, if you look at from 12 onwards downwards, which team is going to crack? Which team is going to actually fall and crack under the mental strength of not,
it's proper intentional.
It's proper. And then obviously you've got us at the top fighting with Man City. With the games that we've got left, Man City have got a slightly easier run. But then saying that, they have got the Champions League. They're still in contention with the FA Cup. They could be meeting you guys in the final, and then they're going to be meeting Tuchel, over 2 legs. Yeah. So, it just depends on what Man U do in terms of Man City do in terms of they're still going to focus on because they want to win the league. They want to do and get what they call the free Premier Leagues in a row.
Yeah,
I know some Man United fans don't.
That can't happen. That's why I'm backing out for. That can't happen. I want, and that's that's mad when a Man United man is telling you that he's backing out for because City can't do that. For
the rivalry between us.
Saying, the City is blue. Yeah. I ain't having that foolishness. Nah.
It's true.
Yeah. But no, I mean, just quickly, West Ham, right? I just noticed this. West Ham have only played 27 games. Everyone around them has played 29. So there's 4 of them on 27 points now. So the team that could get out of jail is West Ham.
Yep.
West Ham are the team to get out of jail here because they've got 2 games in hand on the same points as everybody around them.
Yeah.
Even if they win one and draw one, they're out of that murk for a little while. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I just noticed that. I just thought they were all on 29.
No, it's absolutely mad. And as you said, it could come down possibly to goal difference. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? But I think right now, as we speak, Southampton are definitely the most likely of one of the candidates to go down.
23 points.
23 points, man. Do you know what I mean?
From 29
they're 4 points off of the relegation thing. So for me, it's gonna be tough for them, and I know they're gonna be fighting for their dear lives. Do you know what I mean? Everton will stay up, and what a game yesterday between that was one of the games that they had to play, game in hands that they had to play against Tottenham. Chile's not here because he's still on his way home from the cotton fields. So, he did say he was going to try and get on. But listen, let's touch on that game yesterday. Now, nothing has changed with Tottenham. It's the history of the Tottenham. It's the history, right? Because how can you? Yeah, I mean, okay, ref watch. Was that sending off? Harry Kane went down like somebody had punched him in the face. Okay, the Corey shouldn't have. Once you put your hand up in somebody's face,
Once you raise your hand, it's like,
I thought the way he went down, mate, it was so dramatic. It was just unbelievable.
I think the stance is that they can't accept a flare up, or what would you call it? Out. You know what I mean? But they can't accept it. Because the moment you accept that, then the ref, if the other team do it and it's a little bit more, they turn around and go and say, "But ref, you didn't do anything about him earlier." Yeah. So I think that was just them putting a stance down, especially with what they've done to what's his name, the Serbian.
Mitrovic. He's getting his 8 game ban, and I mean that. Yeah. I mean, Fulham. Would we say Fulham are safe? Fulham are safe, aren't they?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. They're
safe. So I think they can cope without Mitrovic for the 8 games.
They will struggle to be as free as they are, but in terms of where they are in the league, I think they've done a lot of the hard work.
Yeah. And they have a 0 goal difference, which is kind of mad.
So it is.
Yeah. Because start of the season, Mitrovic was cooking at the start of the season. So for them to have a 0 goal difference, it's like, what happened? And now you lost him for 8. Well, you literally lost him for the rest of the season, pretty much, haven't you?
Yeah, pretty much. It was a silly thing to do. Absolute silly thing to do. But listen, he's got the ban now, so Fulham are going to have to just do what they need to do. I think they're pretty much safe. But you don't want the season just to peter out. Do you know what I'm going to say?
Yeah.
And then that aids other clubs to get where they need to go. So they still need to be competitive. Do you know what I mean? And do it without their talisman. The Brighton Brentford game, what a game! You know, Brighton pushing for Europe. Brentford as well, and obviously they're playing tonight if they haven't kicked off already.
Just now.
So
kicking off now.
I mean, Brentford, they currently sit ninth on 43 points. Brighton are on 46 points. They came twice from behind to equalise that game. 3-3. They are on played 27 games. Brighton have played 27 games. Brentford have played 28. So they've got 2 games in hand on Tottenham.
Yeah, same as this one. This one tonight.
Yeah. And I think Brentford did Brentford play yesterday?
No,
sorry. No, Brighton played yesterday, didn't they?
Brighton played and they won.
Yeah, they won.
Who did they play yesterday? Who was it? Who did they play?
They played, hold on, mate.
Who did they play?
Yesterday, I'll tell you now.
Who did Brighton play? Oh, yeah, they beat Bournemouth. 2-0. They beat them 2-0 away. Yeah, away. So
Bournemouth in trouble, man.
Yeah, they are in trouble. They are absolutely in trouble.
Cannot buy a goal either.
Yeah, so I mean, as you say, squeaky bum time for the likes of Man U, Tottenham. Because Brighton, I think they will finish in a Europa League position, whether that be the Conference League or Europa. Obviously, 2 places up for grabs, and then you got the Europa League. But Brighton are playing really well. And they're going to probably give you a game as well, the semi-finals. FA Cup semi-finals. You know what I mean? But Casemiro should be back for that.
Casemiro and Eriksen.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
So and maybe Martial will be up to speed as well. So it may be that he can play a full strength team. Well, he's lost Garnacho, but as in start 11. I think that'll be the first time all season that he's going to have a fit starting 11, which is kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Between suspensions and injuries, that he might be able to play is what he feels is his best 11. And I don't even agree that what he thinks his best 11 is his best 11, but as fans are always like that anyway. You know what I mean?
True.
But then, someone said to me the other day that a lot of it is done on what they see in training. And I think if you know your player, it shouldn't be always about the training because, I know in other sports where, example, Leslie King at Tottenham never used to train, used to swim, do some knee massages and ball out every Saturday at 3:00. This man would just hold it down because he couldn't train like that.
He couldn't train it, yeah.
So I don't always agree.
They had to properly manage it.
Manage that. About what I'm seeing in training. I don't always agree with that. I think when you're in a game situation, you've got to know the players that know how to show up in them tough games. Like I say, I expect this to be a tough game tonight because these guys are flat track bowlers. They've got plenty of brothers in that team, and this man can play. These man don't
and Ivan likes
Ivan, boy.
Likes a penalty.
But this is the thing, talking about just quickly Ivan, right? You notice how quiet this whole gambling thing's got since he got his England cap. Before that, it's like he's disappeared, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was gathering momentum before the World Cup. That's why he ain't going to the World Cup. World Cup done. England didn't win it. And now he's back in the England squad. I'm telling you, this FA is murky. I said it. Allegedly. I'm not trying to get no more capital.
He probably put a bet on them.
Exactly. I'm winning a lot of money. It's like, listen, Ivan, you good now, bro. You good. Go play your football.
Arsenal 4, Leeds 1. Arsenal sort of basically answer the question. The first half of the game started off really slow. I mean, some people were saying that it was probably a bit of a soft penalty, but when you look at it, what's the name? Did catch him on his knee. Very well taken penalty. Second half, I don't know what Arteta said to them, but literally just blew Leeds away. Yeah, just clicked into gear. But the thing about Arsenal, I mean, because obviously Ramsdale would have wanted a clean sheet. I think, listen, when you got players running at you, and Rob Holding for me is probably the weak link, even though he's played okay. But when you go to Anfield and that, you can't be letting players run onto you. You got to engage with them. You know what I mean? He was backing up, and then I think the guy squared the ball, and I think Shevchenko kind of turned his back and he deflected off him, and before he was in the back of the net. But we won that game comfortably. We could have more goals, and the link-up play between Trossard and Jesus, the ball over the top from Odegaard for Granit Xhaka, who's scored now 3 games in a row. I don't know what this guy's on right now. He's balling out. He's absolutely balling out. You know what I mean?
Looking like a skipper.
He is, yeah. But no. You remember what I said to you guys last week when I was furious about Rashford getting on a plane to New York? Right? Did you see how poor he was? Now you tell the England manager you're injured, and your girlfriend persuades you. It's always a girl, them, you know. The girl tell him, "Let's go shopping in New York, babes. Let's go hang out with Jay-Z, babes." He gets on a plane when he got no business because he's telling the man that he's injured. Stay home. Oh, just go to Lightspeed. Don't go long haul. He's done long haul on his body, his so-called injured body, and he didn't show up. Now, allegedly, he wants 500k a week. Not when you're doing that.
Yeah.
I'm saying allegedly.
I know he's come out and said, that's not the case. But boy,
his brother, the agent,
out there, isn't
it? You have to remember the brother, the agent, thinks he's as good as his brother.
Yeah.
He thinks he's Mark II. So he thinks, well, if I can get this from Marcus, then I'm getting this for myself as well. But like I say, Marcus will come out and say it's not true. But for someone that has carried us goal-wise, right, he was disappointing when he hasn't been away on international duty. And I just thought, nah, bro, you punked us. Because when I'm seeing you taking selfies in New York, I'm saying, what are you doing in New York, bro? You're supposed to be injured.
It's a coincidence
that's what I don't like.
Coincidence that Mbappe was out there at the same time.
Them
two got their little rivalry.
They're all because I saw this was before he was on one panel thing with LeBron James and all that. This is Rashford talking about life and professional sport. This is in New York, and it was all some heavyweight sports guys in America. And Rashford's there, and so yes, I love his ambition, but don't tell the England boss that you're injured and jump on a plane to New York ramping. I don't want to see that. And then the same week, you come and just stink up the joint for Man United. He was non-existent, like playing with 10 men. And Rashi, what are you doing? He offered nothing for that game against. It's like you can't go to Newcastle, and I mean Newcastle is an intimidating place to go. That crowd is nuts. But you can't go there and just think, it's only Newcastle. Newcastle are competing; they got money now, and you know what I mean. It would have been worse if we never had a decent goalkeeper. We probably would have lost that 5-0. We were getting peppered every which way. And I just said, nah, man. Nah, I was vexed. But here we are. These guys are going to prove me wrong tonight. They're going to prove me that Tenard was right to start all of them. So here we go.
Let's hope. And obviously that Saturday game, Chili's in the chat.
Chili dog.
Well, Chili, take yourself on. Get yourself on here because you need to just quickly discuss it.
Chili, you need to show your own face.
Come and show your own face. I don't want to see you, no chat. You got the link. Get yourself on here quick, man. The people are calling you out. Get yourself on here quick time. And just going back to while Chili's sorting himself out. Hopefully, we'll see him come into the green room. Just going back to obviously Potter getting sacked. And that game at home to Aston Villa, obviously, we're doing bits with Aston Villa. The game there, boy.
When you cut out earlier, we had a little chat, but just in case there's other people that missed it.
Yeah.
The main thing for me, and this is the key assessment on Potter, when Potter took over Chelsea, Aston Villa was in the relegation zone.
Right.
Because they still had Gerrard. They were in 18th, 19th, No, 18th, around that zone. 18th, 17th. Right. Aston Villa are now above Chelsea. What does that tell you about Potter?
Yeah.
There's no other way to see it.
Yeah.
There's no other way to see it. You know, I never believed we would come back after the first goal went in. I never believed it.
Yeah.
So
keep talking. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. So in short, that Aston Villa game was that was D-Day. That was D-Day. No, I'm not saying anything against Aston Villa. I think Unai Emery, credit to him, credit to them. And it will be completely different, Kofi. Unlike Klopp, that's one stuff using his system. If I could look at Potter's system and go, it's the players. They just don't understand the system.
But I mean, with Potter he's been overwhelmed with the array of players coming in.
Sorry. I have to cut you.
Yeah.
We hear managers complain about not having the depth in their squad week in, week out. They talk about how this team has Man City and the likes of that team have depth of players. Now Potter's got a pot of players. He's got 3 players for every position, pretty much.
Yeah, but having all that abundance like that of array of players.
That's what a manager is.
Remember, he's come from Brighton, where he's had to work hard, like over seasons, to get to that point. And now he's just been like in a kid's playground with all the sweets.
And all you're telling me, Kofi, is that he's out of his depth. That's all you're describing to me. A man that's out of his depth. I tell you what, you get a Jose Mourinho, a Pep, even a Ten Hag. I would even say an Arteta's getting to that stage. So he would tell some of these 6, 7 of these men, listen, some of you lot are gonna have to chill off, you know. I'm sorry.
But that's why I was surprised that Chelsea didn't go for Zidane.
Nah, Zidane.
If you look at Zidane, right?
Yeah.
Zidane's a very smart coach, right?
Yeah.
He looks so meticulously at every aspect of the club before he jumps in there. He ain't just gonna jump in knowing that he's got to filter out bare mans and reconstruct the way Chelsea. Yeah, he ain't gonna do all that. He ain't that cat. You know what I mean?
Zidane needs to come in when you've got the project at its climax.
He
ain't building nothing. We're talking about Zidane that when Ronaldo, you know what I mean? You got Ronaldo scoring 60 goals and that. He ain't dealing with Ronaldo whilst he's 21, 22. He had to be Ronaldo when he's 28, 29. You know what I mean? That's Zidane. Even now, Zidane, he didn't want to talk to Vinicius and all these men that are balling out now. You know what I mean? When them men were coming up, he weren't talking to no Vinicius.
It's true. Yeah, you're right.
There was a stage where
he's a different cat.
You know what I mean? There was a conspiracy about Vinicius when Zidane was in charge that Vinicius is playing against them because his touches were off and all of these things. But Carlo's come in and seen that and said, actually, no, there's a player in there. We'll get him playing. And now he went to win the Champions League. So Zidane's not a project manager. He's the one that comes in.
But
do you know who Zidane is? Do you know who Zidane is? Sorry, just to touch on Zidane one more time. Zidane is the type to go to Newcastle when they've spent all their money and their players are now ready. And then they're going to say, thank you very much, Eddie Howe. Thank you very much for building this for the last 3 years. Here goes Zidane. And he's going to come in, boom. Mbappe.
But then the thing is, he still had to manage those big egos at
critical
points in the season and still win 3 Champions League back-to-backs.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is, a project manager has to have the jack of all trades type approach. So I keep going back to Arteta because I respect the way he dealt with Aubameyang. I respect the way he dealt with Xhaka.
Sure.
You know, say, look, Obama who? Good timing. Perfect timing. You know what I mean?
Obama who, you know.
Perfect timing. He dealt with that big ego, 350k a week. All right, go and sit on you go off to Barcelona. You see how we do. Xhaka, the man that threw away the armband. We're talking about how he's not stopped scoring now. You know, and at the same time, bringing in the likes of Saka, who was raw, Martinelli, who was raw. You know what I mean? And that's project managing. You know what I mean? Probably the best example of it at the moment. I just don't think Zidane's that guy. Zidane is not that guy. In fact, he will walk before he has to do all of that. He say, "Call me when you've got it to a place where you're ready." You know what I mean?
About my what?
About my what? Hey, listen, Aubameyang has taken the biggest L's, you know. He's taking the biggest L. And you know what? He's not sentimental to me. So I don't really mind that scenario. I think he was brought in for Tuchel, and then Tuchel fell out with the board, and then they said, "Chuck, Aubameyang has to fall on his sword." You know what I mean?
Literally.
The only thing is, Chelsea are only paying him about 150 a week, roughly, compared to the 300 and something he was on previous. So
is that all he's getting though? So Barcelona not pay nothing.
They're not. No. So he's only getting 150 grand a week, and
is he completely? Was he bought? Or is he on loan from a Barcelona?
No, he's bought. He
bought. They bought him. Yeah.
11 million we bought for. But in some installments. So I think it was like 6 million up front, and then the rest is installment. But he's almost like a pay as you go. So he'll get like a 10 grand appearance, and then another 10 grand per goal he scores. Things like that. That's why they definitely starve him of game time, because every time he steps on the pitch, that's an extra. You know what I mean? Just
to let you know, guys, Newcastle are 2-0 up against West Ham away.
Yeah, they're cooking.
Let me just say this to you, Ez.
They're cooking.
Father-in-law.
No, he's just called me. That's what it's about. He's literally just called me. He's literally
don't pick up the phone, yo, because there might be a hand that comes through there and grabs your neck, bro.
I'm right now. Thank you for the heads up, because I would have called him back in a minute. I'm like, oh, sorry, is it important?
Yeah.
2-0 up, brother. This is 50 after 15 minutes.
Yeah, no, that's not good.
West
Are you sure it's 2-0? I can see 1-0.
I'm looking at
2-0. Yeah. Callum Wilson and Joe Linton.
But to be fair, it was always going to be a tough game. This was always going to be a tough game.
Yep. So Newcastle are sitting right now currently on 53 points.
That means we definitely have to win this tonight now, you know.
You got it. Yeah.
I don't see
you're both on the same amount of games. You're both on the same amount of games.
But Newcastle got obviously better goal difference.
Way better.
Yeah, way better. 24.
Way better.
24.
Yeah, way better. Against 4.
24.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll go
to the hot.
Wow. It's true. Yeah, listen, I got to agree with you there, Scott. I'm more scared of Newcastle than Liverpool, because they're a very hard side to break down. You know what I mean?
Are you going to Newcastle, Norm? Are you guys going up there? Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
But you see Newcastle, Eddie Howe was slept on, you know. Eddie Howe is a great coach. I'm not saying he's going to be...
He was linked with us. I mean, after... Even when Wenger was in charge of us, there was talk about if ever Wenger left, Eddie Howe, with the resources that he had to work with, because the type of football that he played with Bournemouth, even though they were quite open, but what he's done with Newcastle, mate, he's got the defense locked down. He's got a fantastic midfield, and really, I mean, well, we look at it, because in the early part of the season they were scoring goals. Now they're starting to score goals again. They've now
because they've got the strikers back, no, man. Wilson and Isaac.
And they're both quality. You see, Isak,
they're back now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They've got two great strikers back.
But the one thing I like with the one thing I like with Eddie is that he comes with a model, and he comes with that Premier League experience. You know, like he was with Bournemouth for how many seasons?
Yeah, long time. Yeah, long time with Bournemouth.
Just cutting through the relegation, and just cutting through.
Because even
those battles.
When he got sacked by Bournemouth, didn't he? But look what he's doing.
Right.
With the right resources and money, look what he's doing.
Yeah.
So when I look at that now,
crazy. He hasn't even spent crazy yet.
And he hasn't spent crazy. That's the thing. Newcastle have not gone out there and spent millions, like, mad, because you thought with that club, with the owners that they've got, you think they're just going to go out and just go crazy. No. Yeah. And he's got the right kind of players.
This is the problem. You see, when they get Champions League, their spending can go crazy, because at the moment they actually can't spend, because without Champions League football, they can't justify the income, the FFP. But with Champions League, they can, because the rules change apparently for Champions League football. Yeah. So that's one thing. Another reminder is that Newcastle are worth 10 times what Man City are worth. 10 times. Yeah, that's no. When you think about it that way, and look at all the money that City spent, over $1 billion City spent on that squad, Whoa! If Newcastle really start getting these results and in the big boy leagues, and they can start attracting certain players, It's not even an arm wrestle. It's not even an arm wrestle.
That is the worrying thing. If they make Champions League, mate, bro, it could be.
And you know what?
And you're not worried about Chelsea. No.
You remember a few weeks ago, Norman, Jason was talking about this. He said, we don't want Newcastle to succeed because once they get momentum, they're a problem. Jason called this, you know. He called it. If they get Champions League, they're not trying to go away. And now you're adding another team into that so-called Big Six now. That's a Big Seven now or a Big Eight now. It's scary stuff.
I mean, listen, you look. I was watching Man United against Newcastle, and I just looked at Newcastle. I said, "Boy, they look hard to beat.
No,
they look hard to beat."
I watched that team just wear us out. Literally, just wear us out like an old pair of shoes, and that's just the way. And I said, nah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
Who was? Hold on a minute, guys. Who wants to introduce Chile?
Just say hello to Ed Brown. Ed, who wants to introduce Chile this week? B, do you want to do the big
man's like Chile dog in the house? What you saying, bro? Good to see you, my friend.
I'm good, man. I'm good.
Yeah, man. So I see you were running like Conte Kinte. I saw you running there, and you just got to the house quick. And I said, bro, eat some food, hold a drink. And it comes through. Respect, man. Good to see you.
They said, are you Toby? I said, no. They chopped my foot off. I said, no, I'm Kunta.
Bro. What got you locked down, brethren? Goodness.
Well, right now, boy. I don't know if Tottenham or Toby or Kunta Kinte. You have to tell me about this one. Let's just quickly talk about Tottenham at Chile. And listen, yesterday, what happened? You're playing against 10-man Everton. I know we kind of went over the game, but just to quickly get your thoughts on it. And Chile, I said, if only I recorded Chile, because he FaceTimed me earlier on, yeah? Like, if only I'd done a screen voice.
All I said was that I'm running late. I don't know what you're talking about.
No, come on. Say what you actually said. What did he say to me? Yeah?
I said,
he said, I'm fed up with Tottenham. I would rather...
I'd rather support Man United. Or
Big statements.
Welcome home, bro. Welcome home, bro.
Yeah, man.
You're more than welcome.
Listen, let me tell you something. He did not say Man U because Man U doesn't start with A. I'm telling you now, right? Right, he doesn't start with A. Right. Listen, just quickly, chill.
Hello, Jay.
You must be frustrated, man.
I'm done with them, man. You man can say what you want to say. I'm done with them.
Go on.
Did you see it?
I'll let you have the floor for 3 minutes. Go on.
Did any of you see it? It was disgraceful. Absolutely. That was worse. That's the worst game that I've seen them play in a long time. Worse than Southampton. Worse than whoever beat us 4-0. Wow. 10 men, you know. And they were pressing us back all the time, pushing us back.
It was like you were drawing it.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. If nobody didn't tell me,
we had 10 men.
Right, exactly.
It was disgraceful, man. Yes, Junior, big up yourself.
Yeah. I mean, it was terrible. And listen, Kane went down like,
he's waiting for them to sack Arteta. He's going Arsenal next.
Well, talking about managers. Even I'm hearing Brendan Rodgers is someone that is being touted.
You man don't know about managers like me and Ez. Me and Ez don't need to worry about them thing there.
Well, listen, it's gonna be a fight between
managers are overrated. You watch Tottenham and Chelsea for the rest of the season.
Well, I don't know if you know this, right, Chile. Right now, they're in advanced talks with Frank Lampard.
I see till the end of the season.
Yeah.
What happens if he does a good job, Ez?
That's what I said.
No, what I said is that if he does a good job, he can be on the team. He can go and be assistant manager or something. But, I mean, you don't. I mean, this ain't a joke, man. Yeah, I mean, that's it.
I think with his recent sackings, I think he actually might take that. I think if he does well and they offer him an assistant coach job, he actually might just stay.
He should.
That's whole minute. Yeah.
He's young,
telling
man.
me,
he knows the
got
club.
enough
He knows
time
the
to
club.
be number
If
one.
if someone like Enrique, who's won Champions League, won the league in Spain with Barca, he's won Super Cup, he's won these big trophies, yeah. And Lampard can be under him for 18 months to 2 years. After that, he's got a lot more in his ammunition, and also Lampard can teach him about England and the club, Chelsea. So it's a two-way relationship, yeah. And Lampard could then go, and after that, as I said, like Arteta was Pep's number 2 and walks into Arsenal, and obviously it wasn't always smooth, but I'm sure that experience being under Pep for such a long time has got him, that head start. I think Lampard needs that. And likewise, Enrique will need to understand how England works quickly. I think Enrique should be over Nagelsmann. If Nagelsmann comes to England, then I think Lampard should leave it, because them two, Nagelsmann's 35 years old. He's not going to teach Lampard anything really. I think Nagelsmann's got his own team going. He's going to want to bring his own team. So
I think that's who you're going to get, Nagelsmann.
I think Nagelsmann there's a split in the board. You can tell.
Yeah.
There's a split in the board. We've put a sporting director in charge now, he's the one that called for Potter's head. Bowley didn't. There was talk that half wanted to say the other half didn't. That's right.
But, I mean, after that,
the whole point of this sporting director, so Bowley could step back, because Bowley is clearly he's not a football man, is he? So he's got this guy in. He sacked Potter. Now he also wants to bring in Enrique. Bowley is saying, well, I want to bring in Nagelsmann because he still fits this young profile, this young, exciting manager, la, 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 la. He's managed a big club. And the other guy just wants to bring in a winner that can still manage the young players and blah, blah, blah. So you can see the split. You can see the split. That's why there's not a decision tonight. That's why I also think Lampard is the short term whilst they make their minds up, and they can tie one of these guys down, by interviewing them over the next couple of days or whatever. So there's a lot going on. There's lots going on.
They better hurry up, because Real Madrid are going to be sacking my man soon, isn't they?
And PSG are sacking their man.
And PSG, yeah.
Well, it depends. It depends on whether if Ancelotti wins the Champions League, they may possibly keep him.
They're waiting to see what happens with him in the Champions League.
And who goes? Okay, so if they do with this said, right, if they do sack Ancelotti, you've got Pochettino possibly waiting in the wings.
He's coming back.
Nagelsmann.
He's coming home.
I think Ancelotti
is that the case? Is that the case, Chile? You think?
Apparently he's called his jets a bit about coming back now, even though he was desperate to. And I can't think of her name, but Daniel Levy wants him, but the woman at the top, she doesn't. And so I think they've got to go for Enrique. I think Nagelsmann's going to go to Chelsea, and Enrique will come to Tottenham.
But according to Fabrizio,
all of this will happen in the summer. Nothing now.
Nothing's going to happen now. We've got what's his name till the end of the season. They've got Frank.
Yeah. According to Fabrizio, Poch is going to do an interview for Chelsea as well.
Really?
Yeah. Obviously, he's third choice, but if he says something impressive, they're looking to be open to listening. So.
Come on! Sorry.
What are you watching?
Man United, Rashford.
Of course, after all that cussing,
he heard me.
What? Is United playing now?
Yeah.
Because they're playing their
They scored. Oh,
that's my captain this week. I was about to cuss you.
Same as me. Yeah, I captained him this week of fantasy. So I went to cuss him out, man. He was awful against Newcastle.
Listen, the manager,
Scott, why you can't come in and mess with my emotions?
Man, Tim Sherwood is more realistic, Scott, I love you, man. That's funny.
But listen, you like James Maddison, don't you? Would you have James Maddison at your club?
I would.
Right. Then Brendan Rodgers, he could
go
get him when they relegated.
Listen, let me tell you something. No Alan Kirbishley, no Brendan Rodgers, no Sam Allardyce, none of them guys.
Oh boy, that's going to be interesting. The summer, I'll tell you what, it's going to be interesting.
I'm done with Tottenham for the rest of the season, man. I'm done with them.
But you know what? X was saying the same thing. Expressions was saying the same thing. Yeah, he's like, I'm done. He said he's going to Dubai to chill out and all that. and he's a season ticket holder. He's a season ticket holder.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he said he ain't going back. He said he ain't going back until things are sorted out. You know, he said give me a season ticket away.
He said they're not good for his mental health because I can't do it anymore. I was just like, oh, it's funny. But I watched his show with his brother the other night. Like, that was hilarious, man.
But that tussle for top four now. I mean, as you can see,
what
man,
it's changing.
It's a three-way.
It's
between Spurs. That's Newcastle Spurs.
We did you see us the other day? It was disgraceful. It was like under 15 playing the first team.
Yeah, but your goal difference is better than ours, Chile. And your goal difference had you leap us until we just scored now. But you guys were in fourth when this game started.
Yeah, but you've got games in hand on us.
Yeah, two.
That's right.
Yeah, 2 games in hand. Yeah. But the thing is,
at the moment,
well, one now because we're playing now. But
but you're in front, so you're gonna go 3 points in front of us.
Yeah, well, we're gonna hold on,
Everton.
Man.
Well, you got Everton. You got Everton at home on. Have you got Everton at home on Saturday?
Who?
Yeah.
Man United.
Oh, I thought
you play away. Are you away to them or at home?
I'll tell you now.
Are you away or at home to them?
I'll tell you now. We are. Oh no! Well, Old Trafford.
Yeah,
Old Trafford.
Early kick.
12:30.
12:30 kickoff. Yeah, early kickoff.
Just watch out for Keane's right foot.
Right.
Yeah.
There you go. Tony Pulis. To get you out of the trouble there, man.
You begged me to come on. I said I'm going to quickly get on there, and look, it's their abuse I'm taking.
But listen,
Kofi, what happened to Klopp? He didn't look happy.
Well, man, the way he fielded our team, it was like it was just like, let's just see how this game goes. You know, I don't know
when you saw Salah on the bench, were you like yes or no?
I wasn't surprised. I was actually happy because it gives the other players a chance, because sometimes Salah, if you look at the City game, did you see the missed opportunity which he had the chance to feed Jota to put us or to give us potential 2-0 against City, and then he didn't get the ball to him. They're the type of things that I think Salah, he has to improve on that. Yeah, he scored worldies and everything, but come on, man.
Scott got jokes, boy.
You got in the chat today, Norm. You could be on TV.
Oh boy. Look, I mean, listen, top 4 is hotting up.
Yeah.
Who do you man think's getting it?
Who do I think is getting it? All right. I mean, if you could, I suppose you've got to look at your games. Your what? How many games you got? 8 games left. 9 games. Sorry, 9 games left.
Yeah, they played 29.
Yeah,
29.
Yeah. So who are your 9 games?
Right. Do you want to hear some joke? I'll tell you what our games are: Man United, Liverpool, Brighton. Wow. We ain't getting no top 4. We ain't getting top 4.
That's tough. That's a tough.
Yeah.
We ain't getting top 4. It's got to be Arsenal, City, Newcastle, and United. That's what I think.
Wow. So Chile's got Arsenal winning the league then.
I've said that from a long time. That doesn't even bother me now. I don't care about football no more.
This is what Tottenham has done to him. It's one time.
Nah, man, that game the other day, I was so angry, man.
Wow.
There's no excuse for playing like that.
Nah. No. I mean,
against
you got man advantage. Advantage when you're playing for a draw.
And right, you know what? In that game,
what's the point in putting that Stellini or whatever his name is? He's going to play exactly the same as Conte, and he plays the same players.
Let me say in that one game,
where's Danjuma or whatever his name is?
Yeah. Where are they?
Yeah, true.
But in that game, that game was crazy because you go down to everything.
And we
go down
couldn't
to
score
10.
from open play. We had to get a gpenalty. There you go.
Penalty, yeah. So Kane gets the penalty. The same player, Keane, yeah, gives away a penalty, yeah, nearly gets his leg broken or ankle broken, yeah, and scores a screamer in what I think it was the 90 something minute. I can't even remember what it was.
Yeah,
it was
the
in injury
90th
time.
minute. It was like
90th
89 and some change.
89 is unbelievable. And boy, as people say, it is the history of the Tottenham and
the players.
It is the players.
I'm not even going to defend them. You can say what you like about them.
But you know what? I suppose the question is if Chidi thinks now with the teams that he's got to play, he's running, they're going to be tough runnings, and the likelihood that he thinks that they're not going to make the Champions League, they're probably going to finish in a Europa League position. Does that determine the type of manager you're going to get? Because would you get
definitely.
Would Enrique be prepared to come and play Europa League or
no?
Or you're going to probably get someone like a Brendan Rodgers? I wouldn't be surprised if they're thinking about Brendan Rodgers.
No, they can't bring in them fools there. That's no good for us. The only one out of them that will come if we're in the Europa League is possibly Poch. Possibly. But Nagelsmann, Enrique, you can forget all them, man. Even the Brentford guy, forget him. He ain't going to leave Brentford to come to us.
I'll tell you what, though, Chili, you don't want any manager that doesn't want to be at Tottenham.
Yeah. Definitely.
Even the fact that Nagelsmann is 50-50 because he's listening to... Listen, I would run away from them ones because Tottenham's going to be hard work.
Yeah. Our director of football, ain't he in Strange Ways or Wormwood Scrubs or something right now? What the hell? You man laugh.
Yeah, he got locked up, innit? Yeah, he got locked up, boy. And that's from the Juve mess, isn't it? He was supposed to be the Juve mess, right?
And the thing is, they said that Levy knew that he was under investigation and whatnot, but he still signed him.
Still brought him in, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
He's a different cat than when he leaves. He's a different cat.
Chili right now needs a hard drink, boy.
I'm done with them, man.
What does it say? What's this? Let me just quickly do this because we're coming down now. Let's just go to here. Whilst we're here.
Oh, this is a good. Look at the relegation scrap.
Look at my reds, man. I've gone 3 reds on the trot.
How's Norman climb so quickly?
Man, look at my form, man. What are you talking about? There are 3 blues, man, in a row, bro. But then Kofi has got 3 blues in a row. So
I'm here. What's
bro, how about Kofi before that?
14.
Then?
I told you I'm coming back. Told you.
So right now we've got three guys on 14 points. Chile obviously on 24 points behind. Big D, who's been pretty much out there from the start of the season. And
now slowing up,
doing quite, but slowing up, yeah. Because if you look at your form, the
form is awful. Yeah,
form is awful. I think
what's my green one? I've got the right.
So, yeah. You actually got the actual result. Yeah, and that's what
right.
Kind of
Everything.
You, that kind of.
Got you.
With the blue, so the blue was getting the outcome right. The green is getting it exactly right, and obviously red, you didn't get it. Yeah, so as you can see, Kofi.
Why am I the only one with a green one?
Because that
that's 5 games.
So it's 5 games. Like
I'm just messing with you, man.
how you wish that was Spurs, for the second place there, right?
Why, Norman?
You know, on Saturday when I saw you guys go 3-0 up against Leeds, I thought I should have gone hard on the score, man.
I think you said 1-1 Newcastle. Ez,
I said 1-1 Newcastle.
Yeah, what did Ez go? What game did you go for, Ez? What was the game you went for?
Can I remember? Was it Palace? It was the Palace game.
Palace game?
I think so. I reckon it was Palace. Let me go have a look.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
While he's looking for that, D, are you a one-man team now?
In what way?
Is Casemiro keeping you man afloat?
The thing is, we don't have we don't even have a backup CDM. And it just shows if a team comes to really bully the midfield, then it's like Bruno gets vexed when he's asked to sit in and bolster. He just wants to be forward. He wants the glory. When sometimes we just need you to help us not get outrunning midfield. And like now we started him in the 10 tonight. You know what I mean? And so far it's working. I think we've had a lion's share of the football, but against Arsenal and Man City, we can't do that. We'll get slapped in midfield, and then and as if you saw any of the highlights of Newcastle just bullied us from the out. There was no point we were in that game to say we had a foothold on the game because the midfield was so poor. And like I say, he's probably just making these guys correct their wrongs from the Newcastle game by starting 10 of the 11 that failed. And because the press, everybody was going after Weghorst. I don't think that was on Weghorst. I think that was a team that self-destructed at Newcastle, intimidated in that squad, all the rest of it. That's what I feel.
Why did you get in the early, Norms? You just put one in that.
Is that what that ding was, Norman, getting in there early? No, right.
Yeah, he's got he's got Man City, against the Saints.
Oh, yeah.
That's shameful.
Oh, you're
he was quiet as well. You see how quiet he was.
I hope they really do it, and I hope Liverpool get three.
But you know what? I'm prepared to drop in the relegation zone if I get this score wrong. Yeah. This is a bit of reverse psychology, but at the same time, I don't mind the points. But listen, if City go there and lose the Saints, and I don't even know who's playing who, points, bro. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. So let's just go for the predictions for this weekend. I've gone for Saints 0, City 3.
That's disgraceful. So, you should be ashamed.
It's disgraceful. I'm only doing what Big D does every week. Yeah.
But I don't. I think all season. I think I picked City twice all season. I think.
I think I picked them once, maybe.
I think twice.
Twice. I think I picked them twice myself.
Yeah.
I'm going for 2-2 draw. Liverpool Arsenal. 2-2.
2-2. All right, put it in the chat.
Come on, Liverpool. Smash them up.
Arsenal.
Oh, look, Newcastle are smashing West Ham.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah, West Ham just scored, though.
Oh, is it 2-1 now?
2-1 now, yeah.
Okay.
Wilson again and Joe Linton. Go on,
Arsenal. Scott is going for Arsenal 3, Liverpool 1. That's what Scott is in the chat.
Scott's in some dreamland, man. I don't know what he's out there smoking in New Zealand.
Whatever it is, man. Mate, I hope it works. I'm saying, bro. So Kofi, put that in the chat then. These going for Forest Villa 2, Forest 0.
I'm going to go for 2-1 Tottenham against Brighton. Get in there.
Okay, I'll put that in there.
Wow.
Put that in there.
Wow.
And see what you're going for.
Boy.
There's not much left. It's made it a little bit tough now.
Can you go same team, different result? Have we ever done that?
No.
Yeah, you can do that if you think it's
what? No, you're totally different team. Get out of here.
Oh no, because then if you go City, we could all go City and just get the same as normal.
All right, cool.
No, you know what? The rules.
No. But what?
Don't take those.
Wait. Hold on. Hear me out. What if I went Southampton 2-0 against City? That's completely different.
No. It's
Arsenal, man. What are you doing?
Game, bro.
Getting your bad juju on my team.
All right, cool. Let's go. You know what?
That's funny.
I'm back in the Mighty Blues, man. 3-1 Chelsea.
Go on, get it
man.
And the thing is, right, you know what? I purposely stopped backing Man United because I didn't want to jinx them. By you know what I mean? I'll be like, let's stay away from my team, boy.
I never ever pick Tottenham, but I'll pick them every week now. Watch every week. I'm gonna pick them to win.
You lot didn't realize I'm wearing the shirt today. I ain't worn this shirt in about 5 weeks. Yeah, man, I'm wearing the shirt today. Potter's out. Yeah, man.
Well, listen.
Yeah, man. This one is the Chinese tour sweatshirt for Man United.
I thought you were going to say the Chinese knockoff.
No, the Chinese tour, man. Adidas. Yeah, man, Adidas.
It wasn't wearing that one that was doing our eyes in last week, actually. Where that one was.
I love that shirt, you know. I'll tell you what, bare people have asked me for that shirt, you know, when I've worn it out in the street. This lady came up to me and said, "Oh, I love your shirt. Can I have it?" Like, what? I was gonna give you my shirt in the middle of the street, lady.
The shirt off your back, D.
Literally, yeah. This white lady the other day in the shops, and I love that shirt. I'd be like,
sure it wasn't Stevie Wonder.
Yeah, it might be Stevie Wonder. Yeah, Stevie Wonder's auntie. You know what?
Right. Okay. Listen, guys, we have come to the end of the show, so I will look for the rest of the score. So I've gone with Saints 0, City 3. I hope that Saints could do something. I'm prepared to drop out of the top 4 and go back into 5th place. I think
let's hope
Kofi's gone for Liverpool 2.
Come on, Kofi.
Liverpool 2, Arsenal 2.
I want the win, but for the score.
Yeah. That you're thinking that's the more realistic.
Where is it? At Anfield?
At Anfield, yeah.
Arsenal will get bus up. Rob, Scott, don't bother coming next week. I'm going
and I suppose we'll see what our Spurs do against Brighton.
No, Arsenal forever. That ain't working for me, bro. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
I like that one.
We ain't doing that, mate.
Yeah, but guys in the chat, think of a forfeit for the person that does actually come last at the end of the season. Now you will find out that
that's Kofi. What do you mean the person that got? We know it's Kofi. He could have
said I'm going to finish last. Are you serious? Nah, bro. No, don't bring that chat to me, Chili, man. There's 3 of us fighting relegation.
But listen, whatever happens at the end of the season, we have to. I need the people in the chat to let us know as we get closer to the season, as we get to the penultimate games. Let us know who should wear, if it's a shirt or maybe do a forfeit or whatever it is. Let us know.
I'm not spending £75 on an Arsenal shirt. Are you mad?
Right, exactly.
So how much they cost? Wow.
Yeah. So me and Norman are about the same size. I'll borrow his one.
Listen.
Gold
I
one.
think we should just create a T-shirt saying the "What's Going On" relegated.
I'll leave that for you to do then, Cole.
That's a good shout.
I'll leave that to you to do. No, you need to either wear the opposition shirt or do something. We'll have to think of something. And people, as I said, let us know as the coming weeks comes and as we get nearer to the games. Now you will find out that we're one game short because obviously at the start of the season, because of the situation with the Queen and everything, things got postponed and whatever. So that's why we're always one game short. So we will actually finish at 37 games.
Yeah, 37, yeah.
Is that right? 37 games as opposed to 38 games. So we'll see what happens. I will send you one, Chili, to see you wear it. That's from Scott, all the way from New Zealand. Big D, Chili, all of you, full Arsenal kit.
Socks and everything.
Nah, brother.
Listen, I'll be out the country before you see me wear one.
That'd be great. That'd be absolutely great, man. It will come on there, yeah. Yeah, but no, it's been an actual great show. Thank you so much to everybody that was in the chat. Thank you for staying with us for so long. Big up to the chat and everybody that's in there. Always live, man. Always lively. And listen, it's another big weekend ahead, especially for Arsenal. We're going to Anfield. Mate,
that should be a good game.
It should be a good game.
Come on, obviously. Come on, Jay. I know Jay can hear me. Come on, Jay.
You know what I mean?
I would love to say,
but it's going to be
a little bit confident, but boy, it's Arsenal.
No, but but Kofi, it's typical. It's typical that you guys always turn up against us. But if we can go there, as I said,
this is Arsenal, different gravy, man.
I hear you. Yeah, we thought that Man United was going to come there and turn you over. Look what happened. Yeah. 7-Up all the way, mate. So listen, I don't want to see a 7-Up. I don't want to be drinking. I don't want to be drinking 7-Up. I don't want to be drinking 8-Up. I don't want to be drinking 9-Up. Yeah. I can deal with a Desmond. But that's about it. You know what I mean? But listen, thank you to everybody for joining the show. Please hit that like button, subscribe and share if you're new, and let's go for this weekend. Listen, it's going to be exciting. Things are going to change. Who's going to be in the relegation zone? And after this weekend, who's likely to get the championship?
And who's got to get a manager first, Tottenham or Chelsea?
And who will get a manager first, Tottenham or Chelsea? Well, we'll know that by the weekend it will probably be Frank Lampard sitting in the dugouts. You know what I mean?
And Palace are looking for a manager too, innit? They've got Roy in until the end of the season.
Yeah.
Oh, he's not permanent. I thought it was a permanent one. Okay.
Yeah. We'll see what happens.
Bare managers.
Bare managers. But listen, people, we've been on there 2 hours 16 minutes. I did get a comment from a new, I don't know if it was a new subscriber or whatever. You were saying he loves the show. It's the first time he's come across the show. So if you look at last week's, read the comments. He was basically saying good show, but let's try and keep it short. It's very difficult because there's just so much to talk about. And it is long. You know what I mean? But listen, the people are staying with us, but we are going to try
Junior, respect, man.
Our uttermost best
Big up, Junior,
and get it down to at least an hour and a half. But listen, if I keep talking, it's going to go on a lot longer. So listen, people, God bless. See you next week on the What's Going On podcast show. Take care and God bless.
Come on, you.